Okay, we'll be. Is this on?
There you go.
We'll begin the, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Planning Committee meeting of Akron City Council. I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the minutes of the previously held meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. Okay, we had an item that's up for public hearing today. However, though, that's been withdrawn by the sponsor and will probably be submitted at a later date. So we'll not conduct that public hearing today. Or Mr. Clerk, I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but it's been withdrawn by the sponsor.
Okay.
Item number 1. So I assume the appropriate measure would be to file that item.
Okay.
So I'd like to entertain a motion that we file item number 1 without prejudice. Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Yes. Yes, yeah. Yeah. From what I understand, the law department has a couple questions before it's coming in. Yes. Yeah, that's all. It'll come in at a later date. Yeah, this is an amendment to our zoning code reference fences, so it's been withdrawn by the sponsor, and it can come back in at another time. So, all those in favor of filing item number 1 signify by saying aye. Nay, the ayes have it. We'll file that item. 2 and 3 are scheduled for a public hearing, I do believe, Mr. Antonucci,
that's
correct?
Next
So
week.
time on those guys. Is there a substitute on 4?
There is. There's a new list.
All right.
Item number 2.
Oh, is that coming? Oh, I see it. This is item number 2 on the new list of legislation. This is a, deal with this right now. It's a substitute. Mark your agendas as such. Substitute for item number 4. The substitute is authorizing conditional use to construct an oversized garage at 280 Hampshire Road. This is Councilwoman Keith. I believe this is 280 Hampshire Road. Is this the one adding, from what I understand, windows?
Yeah, this is a condition to add windows, so we would ask the petitioner to submit a plan, and we would take a look at it. So subject to Department of Planning and Urban Development review.
Okay.
Just to have some windows to dress it up.
Okie dokie. Representative Keith, would you like this to be, I'm sorry, I was asking the sponsor. Yeah, would you like to take time on this, or?
I think as it is will be fine, because I will tell you, we took time last week. I believe the petitioner's done due diligence, and it's been approved by the Planning Committee as well as the department. My concern was I wanted to make sure that there was time for the other neighbors, because I had heard that some others were upset. Nobody else reached out to me. I made sure that I addressed the 2 that did reach out to me and spoke to the petitioner. So I think this is, I do not want time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ms. Movian, you have a question?
Yes. Is this the Lavender House?
Lavender house.
It's blue.
It's blue. It's a vibrant blue, lavender, whatever. And the neighbors were concerned about the oversized garage or the color of the house?
The request was for an oversized garage, so this would dress it up with some windows on the front.
On the front of the garage?
That's correct.
Okay. Doesn't cover the color?
No.
But if you have
That's Hudson.
I was just curious, if you have neighbors that raise concern about that, can they do anything other than talk to the owner? That's it? Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I would like to, short of any other questions or comments, I'd like to entertain a motion for suspension of the rules with a favorable report.
Motion.
Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Nay. The ayes have it. We will report that out favorable this evening.
Mr. Chairman, are you bringing in a substitute for this, or did you already?
Yes, sir. I read it in here. Okay. Yeah, there is a substitute. It's item number 3 on the new list. So we just, yeah. It's, here it says 3 on my piece. So, is it 2 on the, okay. on the iPads, it says, regardless, it's 280 Hampshire is the one, and the change, in fact, is the addition of windows, so, okay? So, we'll call that also known as 2. Back to the regular agenda. We'll, assuming we pass 4, we'll then file item number 5, which is in fact the petition for item number 4. And I believe number 6 is the conditional use to establish commercial use at 982 Oakland Avenue. Mr. Antonucci.
Yes, the petitioner has withdrawn this request, and he will comply with code by finding a more suitable location. So the petitioner has withdrawn the request.
Very good. Good news. So we'll then file item number 6, as well as item number 7, which is the petition for such, and then time on the balance. Short of any concerns or comments, we'll move into the new list of legislation. Item number 2, also known as 3, we've addressed. Item number 3, I assume, or 4 on your agenda. Ordinance authorizing conditional use to retain a fence at 1250 Brown.
Yes, we'd recommend refer and advertise for a public hearing next week.
Very good. All those in favor of referring signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay, the ayes have it. The next item is ordinance accepting vacation plat for a portion of Plymouth Avenue west of Cuyahoga Street.
Yeah, this is, we presented this to council a while back for a sale of city property at the end of Plymouth Avenue, essentially to allow James Robinson to grow and harvest trees at that location. So this is accepting the vacation plat for that portion of Plymouth Avenue to allow him to, farm tree, basically grow and harvest trees in the future at that location. This is an unimproved street. There's no use for this street. It's essentially just woods.
Is the ward council representative aware of this?
She is.
And
Yes.
checked off on it?
Yes.
Questions or comments? And this is both sides? Does he own both sides?
Yeah, we've actually, the council has agreed to sell the property on both sides,
Right.
and now Mr. Robinson has submitted a vacation plat that shows the vacation of that section of Plymouth
Gotcha.
Avenue.
Very good. Questions or comments?
Just curious, he will remove the pavement if there's pavement or something?
There is no pavement. It's basically, it's a paper street essentially that's just dedicated, but it's not improved at all.
So in a way, there are no both sides, it's just the whole
Okay,
swath
woods
of
now.
land.
okay.
Good. Further questions or comments? Consent agenda okay?
That's correct. That's fine.
Okay.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay. Next item is authorizing conditional use to retain a solid fence at 1519 Preston.
So we recommend this be referred and advertised for a public hearing.
Okey-doke, we can do that. Next item is changing the name of Green Spire Lane to Green Spire Circle in the Lake of the Woods subdivision.
So we recommend refer and approve and for public hearing next week.
Okey-doke. Very good. All those in favor of referring this item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Anything else to come before the committee? Very good. Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thanks.
Thank you.
Suspend number 2.